Hey guys, Avi here from Stellar Trades, and today we're going to be analyzing MARA and RIOT. Now, these are two Bitcoin mining stocks, which are based here in the United States, and these two stocks have garnered a lot of attention over the last couple months, simply due to the popularity and interest, as well as adoption in Bitcoin over the last couple months, and a lot of the hype surrounding that has driven a lot of retail traders to buy these two stocks. Um, and that's because these two stocks are largely correlated with the price of Bitcoin. As you can see, as Bitcoin sort of rallied throughout the year, Mara as well as Riot have sort of tracked that movement very similarly, which is why you can sort of see similar trends and patterns in the two uh, stocks. You can see the price action largely tracks the same journal movement over the last two over the last couple of months between these stocks. So we're going to look at are Mara and Riot good buys right now? Should you invest? Should you trade these stocks at this moment? As well as is there a bull case to be made or is there a bear case to be made in the short term or in the long term with these two stocks? So as of recording, this is May 7th, 2021. So whenever you're watching this, it's very possible that these two companies could be at a completely different stock price, which is why I want to give you the best advice right now as to what I'm planning on doing with these two stocks. So just to give some background, Bitcoin mining generally becomes more profitable as the price of Bitcoin itself increases, which is why you see a lot of interest in these stocks and a lot of bullish movement in these stocks as the price of Bitcoin goes up. But they're not directly correlated. That's something to remember. Right here, as you can see, when Riot reached a high of about $85, that is when interest in Bitcoin sort of peaked, and when we saw a lot of institutional as well as retail adoption and interest in Bitcoin. We saw a correlating increase in interest in these two mining stocks. Um, and so some background on Riot. Riot actually ordered 15,000 more mining rigs in December of 2020, which will be expected to arrive in May of 2021. And we're expecting full delivery of these mining rigs by October of 2021. And Mara followed in the same pattern, ordering about 70,000 more mining rigs in December of last year, which are to be delivered from July through December of this year. So clearly, both of these companies are experiencing growth. Just by the fact that they're ordering more mining rigs, we can see that they do have cash on hand and they're choosing to reinvest in the companies by buying more mining rigs, which will prove to be more profitable in the future should Bitcoin continue to rise in price. Now, by investing in Mara or Riot, you're buying into the future profitability of Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining in the future. So, as the price in Bitcoin rises, the price of these two stocks will generally rise as a correlation as investors see that Bitcoin becomes more profitable, so will these companies. Now, the price action of both these stocks largely diverged from the price of Bitcoin earlier this year, as you can see by these spikes in the price action of both of these companies um, earlier this year. However, the price action has settled to support levels as we've seen as we've reached earlier this year. And so that begs the question, are Mara and Riot good buys right now? And that's what we will be answering. So to get into the technicals of Mara, let's break it down on the daily chart. So looking at Mara on the daily chart, we can see that, if you're going back to June of last year, 1 year ago, MARA was at 73 cents. So that's really a crazy multiple um, from where it is right now. It's high actually reached a high of 60, close to $60. So if we were to look at what kind of return that is, we reached a return of 5,000% at its peak. So both Mara and Riot really had incredible runs this past year. But that's not to say the run has stopped. There's a good case to be made that Mara and Riot could continue to increase throughout the year should Bitcoin continue to rise. Now you can see that we sort of have a channel here, an ascending channel, which I've drawn out, which sort of tracks the lows that Mara retests throughout the year, as well as the highs and the resistance that Mara seems to bounce off of. So as the year of 2020 blends into 2021, we saw a great rise in the stock of Mara as the price of Bitcoin increased. And so we went from a price of about $12. It continued uptrending and downtrending, and but largely in a relatively stable uptrend up until about April. So roughly a month ago is when we sort of broke this channel, and we broke out, and we saw that our 9 EMA actually broke this channel and uh, showed a bearish crossover of the 50 EMA, indicating that there could be bearish continuation for this stock. Now, if we're looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see that MAR has largely been consolidating the past couple of weeks in this $40 to $30 range. Mara really hasn't regained that 50 EMA in the last couple of weeks. We saw a bounce off the 50 EMA and a rejection, and currently we're showing a downtrend to back to the support level about $30. Now, this is a very key support level that you will need to pay attention to because, as you can see, Mara's tested this level once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And so it'll be really important to see if Mara retests this level a 6th time. Also, another important fact is that we actually have earnings for Mara coming up on the 13th of May. So it'll be important to see if we will see anticipatory run up in Mara's stock price leading up to this earnings, as we did see in the previous earnings, or will we just see some continuous bearish movement going into earnings? Now, is Mara at a good level to buy right now? Well, it's really tough to say. We're showing bearish movement, and obviously Mara is pretty cheap right now, trading at roughly $31. That is it's a significant drawdown. It's about a 45% drawdown from its highs. So considering that you have 45% of upside, does it make sense to buy this stock right now? Now, I really can't advise that you do buy the stock at this very moment, and that for the only reason that we have earnings right around the corner, and I think it'd be wise to see how Mara's earnings turn out, how their guidance turns out, and what the future looks like for this company. Um, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, then that doesn't necessarily mean that you should be bullish on Mara as well, for the simple fact that Bitcoin mining could prove to be less profitable or more profitable based on how the hash rate continues to play out. Now, Bitcoin's hash rate has been on an increase lately, which proves that mining has actually been more profitable recently, but that'll only depend on which way Bitcoin goes in the future. So again, I would wait to see if we can retest this support of $29. and see if we can break this support or if we bounce off of it. And if we do bounce off of it, I would say that that would be a good place to scoop up MARA. Um, I mean, this is a very strong level of support. So if we do feel it, that would be a key sign that there really is a lot of selling going on, and that you should really wait it out until you see a good bottom. Now, if you're playing this in the long term, obviously this is a good place to buy. I did actually pick up some shares right around $33, strictly for long-term purposes. So I'll be waiting. Excuse me. I'll be waiting to see how the stock plays out post earnings to see if I want to pick up some more. Now let's take a look at Riot stock. So Riot's actually been a little bit more consistent and um, it's weird to say it, but less volatile than Mara. Obviously, both of these stocks, as you can see with their price action, are very volatile. They track Bitcoin's price very closely, and Bitcoin is very volatile, with the exception of the last couple weeks and months. We really have seen some consolidation in Bitcoin, which you can see correlating in the price of Riot as well. So going back to the beginning of the year, Riot opened up at about $17 in the beginning of 2021. And since then, similar to Riot, we saw the explosive growth, going from roughly $25 a share in February to $85 as a high in about mid-February. And since then, we really we haven't reached that level again. We uh, broke past the bearish crossover of the 50 EMA, and we retested this 180-day EMA, as well as this key support level of $38. And we bounced back up with the rally of Bitcoin, reaching roughly a high of $63, which is where we saw our resistance come in, and the sellers came back in to drive the price back down to that $38 support level right around mid March, and we continued to rally back, and we failed this $63 resistance level again in mid April. And since then, we really haven't seen those prices again. We saw a bearish crossover um, of the 50 EMA as well as the 180-day EMA. And currently, we're still sitting below both of those moving averages. And something with Riot that we didn't see with Mara is that we actually broke down past this key support level of $38. We're trading around $33 right now. So, Riot's really in no man's territory right now. Um, it'll be really interesting to see. Similar to Riot, we do have, or excuse me, similar to Mara, we do have earnings coming up on the 17th of May. So, coming up in about a week and a half. So it'll be important to see, will we downtrend and continue to maybe test that 20, 25, $26 level right there? Or will we maybe see a bounce and see some bullish continuation? Excuse me, Riot is looking slightly oversold on the RSI. It's got a RSI of about 38 on the 4-hour chart. So you can see that the volume for the past couple days has been all red, right? It's been all selling. We really haven't seen strong buying since March, really. So it'll be really interesting to see what their guidance is, as well as their outlook coming out of their earnings. However, I do think that if we do see continued selling off, $25 would be a very good price to buy Riot at. Um, I really see no downside from there. I mean, we may break a little bit lower than this, and if we do, I would just continue averaging down and snapping it more, because it's really tough for me to see right underneath these prices. I mean, these are really record lows since we haven't seen these lows since about February of this year. So I see this as a great buying opportunity for both Riot and Mara if you're looking for the long term. However, if you are looking to trade these stocks, I would, I, to be completely honest with you, I would stay away for now. If you're looking to trade them for the downside, I could see that maybe you can scalp um, some movement to the downside if we continue to see some bearish continuation. But with earnings right around the corner, it's really tough to say which direction we're going to move in. Obviously, we're quite oversold, so I would say there is more room to the downside than the upside right now, especially with the market conditions that are currently going on. Both of these being growth stocks. Institutions and retail investors are really staying away from these and not looking to pile in yet, just because of all the FUD in the market at the moment. However, if you are looking for a great long-term stock, I truly believe that Mara and Riot are great opportunities at these prices. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you have any other questions, please do let me know in the comments. I want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to my analysis of these two stocks, and let me know what your thoughts are. Are you planning on trading Mara and Riot? Are you planning on buying these? Do you plan on maybe playing the earnings on these? What are your thoughts? I'm curious. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is Avi with Stellar Trades signing out.